I love trying to help young people become the best version of themselves.
Feel that sound system update. You can feel that in your chest.
They play hard. They're unselfish. They're coachable. You come in our gym, there's an energy and a spirit to them.
Every time I drive by the campus, something new is going on.
Yeah. I love the camaraderie at Washburn.
This podcast is brought to you by Washburn University, a tight-knit college in a city of opportunity.
Washburn offers small classes and big experiences. It's public, prestigious, and has the lowest student debt in the state.
Above all, Washburn delivers a personalized education that you won't find at larger schools.
Learn more at washburn.edu. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Topeka Insider. Topeka Insider is a podcast based in Topeka, and we have episodes every 2 weeks on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and we are just obsessed with highlighting people who make our great city such an amazing place to live.
My name's Justin Armbruster, John Griffith, my co-host. Today, we have Brett Ballard, head men's basketball coach at Washburn University. Thanks for being here, man.
Good to be back, guys. Great to be back.
Man, it's great to have you in the studio, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, you guys are off to a great start. Man, the season seems to be going really well. It got some momentum.
Yeah, it's been fun. These guys, pretty high expectations coming into the season with what we brought back and then what we were able to get through the transfer portal and with our freshman class coming in. We had high expectations for this group, but, they probably exceeded where I thought we could be at this point in the year. We got off to like a really good start, playing some very good teams out of the gate. Everybody, the pieces have just fit really well. Guys have come in and bought in, been cohesive. Our returners really did a nice job of setting the tone with our standards and our culture.
Wow, yeah.
The new guys jumped right in with 2 feet in the circle and bought in, very quickly into what we were trying to do here. And, we still got a long ways to go and we got to get a lot better. But I'm really proud of this group and they should be really proud of themselves and what they've accomplished so far. It's been a lot of fun.
It's amazing.
This year to last year, how many returners do you have? How many new, what kind of fresh blood do you have? What's that mix look like?
So we lost 4 starters off of last year's Elite 8 team. All 4 were all league guys. 3 graduated. We're seniors, and then 1 transferred up to the Division I level. And so you lose 4 starters. That's always challenging. The good thing was we brought back Jack Batchelor, our starting point guard, Topeka kid.
Let's go. Shout out.
Yeah, which is he's been a stud. We brought back our 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th man off the bench. And those guys probably would have started at a lot of schools, throughout the country. So even though we lost a lot, we felt like we brought a really good nucleus back. We brought in 4 Division II transfers out of the transfer portal, and those guys have all been really good.
Wow. 2
of them start. One of them's our first guy off the bench. So that we really hit some home runs with that. And then we brought in a really good freshman class. So, in this day and age, it felt like we lost a lot, and we did. But comparatively speaking, we probably had as good of a nucleus back as about anybody in the country. And those guys were great as far as setting the tone.
Yeah. So I remember in a previous episode we had you on right after last season. And obviously an incredible run last season. You said Elite 8. Is it difficult coming into a new season not to just be comparing yourself to previous season? Like, what's it like trying to get a fresh start in a new season?
Yeah, I think it's a balance, Sean. Like, I do think we need to lean into our tradition and the past, and I do think past success is a positive example of how we want to conduct ourselves and the standards we want to get to and all that thing. So I think like there's a lot of positives about looking at what we did in the past to be successful and building off of some of that. But to your point, every team creates its own identity, and every year, every year has its own identity, its own ups and downs, and its own adversity. And so this team has kind of had to forge their own path. I would say they're really similar to last year's team in a lot of ways. They play hard, they're unselfish, they're coachable. They have a good, like you come in our gym, there's an energy and a spirit to them, which some teams you got to fight that a little bit, like you're trying to build their energy level up. But these guys like being in the gym, so there's a ton of comparisons that are really positive.
Wow.
But at the same time, like I said, this team wants to create its own identity, and although we're similar, we're trying to exceed even what last year's team did, and that's part of our motivation.
Speaking of working hard in the gym, Lee Arena, has gotten a fresh new look.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about that. Last time you were on, you talked about what was going to be happening.
Yeah.
They're done, almost done. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we put over $8 million in the arena. So big time renovation.
Yeah.
We have some incredible boosters that stepped up to make that happen. Brand new floor. So the floor that was in there was the original floor dating back to the mid 80s. So that floor was, it was time. It was time. We had the wood floor in, and then the rest of the outside of the floor was that tartan rubber track.
Right.
So we took we didn't take the track out. We put wood over the entire arena. So that just cleaned it up, and obviously new state-of-the-art floor, new bleachers. We had those tan kind of old school, high school looking bleachers.
Right.
And so we put new seating in, new bleachers in, new lighting, new video boards. I think the biggest one that stands out, that donut board in the middle.
Yeah.
We
So
have a little bit of a
amazing.
lower ceiling, so we can't do a traditional scoreboard necessarily, but we put that donut board in. It's amazing. New video boards on the sides, sound system upgrade, and like I said, just fresh paint, fresh graphics, and all that stuff. So it looks amazing.
$8 million goes a long ways.
Yeah,
you
no.
can feel that sound system update, man.
Yeah,
You can feel that in your chest.
We have some younger people that do our marketing, and so they like it, and I don't mind it, but they'll get the music cranked up a little bit.
That's amazing.
Get the crowd
Our
going.
guys like it, so I'm fine with it. I'm getting old. I'm like, that sounds loud, but
It's too loud in here.
yeah, but,
they're like, shut up, Grandpa.
yeah, our marketing, they do a great job with our stuff and the video and all that stuff. It's a production, and we led Division II in attendance last year. And we've had great crowds this year, so we appreciate the support.
So is the original basketball court now like your kitchen floor at
Yeah,
home?
I should have done that. That's I should have thought about that.
Yeah.
We saved parts of it, and so we have some of it saved, and we saved the center W, and we're going to display that eventually.
Cool.
So we did cut up some of it and save it, but I should have thought about that. I could have
Right?
saved some money on hardwood flooring.
That's right. So you said they're going to display it. Is there going to be like a thing in the lobby of the arena that's like a history of the team or something like that?
That's
So
cool.
if you've ever been to KU and Allen Fieldhouse, when you walk in, they've got the old K from the old floor.
Right.
And so the thought is we're going to frame that up, the old W, and then, we have a kind of a second phase of renovations that will come down the line. And as you come into the arena and come into the entranceway, we hope to display that.
So Lee Arena's not even done.
Well, yeah, we're still, there's still some things that we're going to do in the future to it, but the inside of it, for the most part, we're done with that. Now we'll kind of start working on concourses and some of the entryways.
So speaking of upgrades, Lee Arena getting a fresh look. That's kind of the tip of the iceberg for what Washburn's doing, on that campus. Can you speak to maybe some of the viewers who aren't familiar with Washburn? What are some of the updates that Washburn's been getting over the past couple of years? It feels like, as a native to Topeka, every time I drive by the campus, something new is going on.
Yeah. Well, the Advisors Excel new business school is
So
getting
cool.
completely remodeled and redone. It's in the existing footprint, but they're expanding it, and it'll basically look like a brand new building. So they're in the process of that right now. And matter of fact, I saw that I was on campus the other day, and there's a ton going on over there. That's going to look amazing. Obviously, just with what we did to Elite Arena, there's a new healthcare and nursing center that's going in here pretty soon. We got a huge donation on that, so that'll be quickly on the horizon. They'll start construction on that, in the near future.
Yeah, and you guys. It was several years ago now, but I'm sure it's getting used all the same. The new athletic building, the law school.
The law school is brand new still.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, no doubt. The law school's brand new. It's amazing. The indoor athletic facility, which is a few years old now, but you talk about state-of-the-art indoor bank track, which only one or two in the D2s, maybe in that in the nation have that, with the football field inside of it. That's been really nice for our winter sports and our fall sports, baseball, softball, football, soccer. They can all utilize that space, and obviously track and field, especially those other sports when it's cold outside.
And I remember you said in our last interview, which I thought was really interesting, the indoor sports arena doesn't impact you from a basketball standpoint as much as some of the other sports, but it does in that it gives those other athletes a place to go and do their thing, so you can free up Lee Arena for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure that is a huge help.
Well, you think about like the basketball court in practice is like my classroom, right? Like that's my classroom for that hour and a half, 2 hour period. And when I first got here, baseball, softball, track didn't have a facility to train in when it was cold. So during our practices on the sides, there would be all kinds of activity going on, which, we understood because they didn't have anywhere else to go. But you think about trying to teach and learn in that environment. In some ways, it was good because it made us really hyper focused and try to just, eliminate all those other distractions. But it's nice now, not only for those athletes, because now they have a much better space and bigger space to train in, but for us, it allows us to practice in an environment where there's minimal distractions.
So there's no one pole vaulting off to the side of the.
Well, we had the pole vaulters
court.
in there. I think we talked about that. They had the pole vault in the floor, and then they'd put the mats out there, and so they would be pole vaulting. And listen, that sport's insane in itself.
It is insane.
It's a loud sport when you don't complete the pole vault because the pole's clanging, and so
hardwood floors just
it's a sport. I never knew this, but they practice for 4 or 5 hours at a time because 3 or 4 will come in and go, and then 3 or 4 more, and then a lot of times they'd be in there for 3 or 4 or 5 hours. So. And which is necessary, but you think about the amount of time they were in there when we were practicing all the time. Sure. I used to joke with the coaches and I said, "You guys just look and see when we're going to practice and then schedule your deal." Joking with them. And I do miss though. The one bad thing is that you had that interaction with those sports a little bit more, so we don't see them as much. But I know they're loving the new facility.
I just imagine if I was on your team and I'm in a team huddle in the middle of the court, you're trying to give us a really serious lesson, and then you just hear what? Some guy just eat it from pole vaulting. Man, it's hard to pay attention. Yeah, that's hilarious.
The young guys get used to it, but no doubt there'd be a lot going on. Kyle Hinton was. He shot putted for us. He's a football player that's in the NFL now.
Wow.
Big old massive dude. Well, they had an indoor shot put stuff on the end of the court. He could throw it far enough where he broke a couple of our bleachers because there was a little barrier there. It was an indoor shot put, so it was softer for the floor, but he could throw it over the barrier they had set place. So he broke a few of the bleachers in the arena. So that was always distracting too, hearing that clang. But there was a lot going on back in the day. So I appreciate this new facility.
Wow. So life as a coach, how long have you been the head coach at Washburn now? 9
years.
Wow. So what are the best and worst parts of coaching?
Best parts, I would say, I love competing. So I love the competition of it. I love trying to help young people become the best version of themselves. So I love just being a part of this journey with them. Through basketball is a big part of it, trying to help them be the best basketball player they can potentially be, but then also trying to instill in them some life lessons through our sport that I really truly will believe will help them in life. And I love having that impact on young people. I love the camaraderie at Washburn. I love the league we're in. I love the fact that we get to compete for championships at Washburn. And I love the game of basketball. So there's so much of it that I enjoy on a daily basis. I think the hardest part is you are dealing with 18 to 20-year-old people, and you're trying to get them to perform in a highly competitive environment with all these factors that go into winning and losing basketball games. And a lot of which you try to control, but a lot of which sometimes can be out of control, illnesses or injuries or girlfriends or academics or just the stress that they're going through. And you're putting your livelihood in the hands of these kids that at times can be stressful. You try to compartmentalize that as much as you can. And it's winning is hard. Winning basketball games is hard. So I think the stress of that is probably the biggest negative that I find in coaching, but there's so many positives, and I love what I get to do. I'm really blessed.
It's amazing.
I saw an interview with you the other day talking about how you think you have the best Division II basketball job in the world. Why? Speak a little bit to that. What has that to do with your team, with Washburn? Why do you think that?
Yeah, really just trying to get a raise.
Come on, Washburn. Give this guy a raise.
No, they take good care of me.
He's winning games. Come on.
They take good care of me. I feel like I really believe that. One, with the resources we have, we just talked about that, incredible resources here. So a commitment from a facility and resource standpoint to excellence, with our scholarships, with our budgets, with our gear, with our nutrition. Like, they instill a lot of commitment into our program financially, and from a facility standpoint. I think that we play in the best basketball conference in the country, so I think that's a positive. I think from a recruiting standpoint, because of our resources, because of our tradition, and I have an incredible staff, I feel like we're able to recruit some of the best talent in the country which that's a separator, right? That determines a lot of your success. And I feel like we're in a place where we're going to be able to recruit high level, high character talent. And I think the last part of it is just like location for me, and the way that people in this area love basketball. I mean, I think Kansas is a basketball state. People in this state are very passionate about this sport. And I think Topeka has really supported this team. Like I said earlier, we led Division II in attendance. And I think that's part of what makes a job good, is people actually care.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We had Coach Laura Westling on a few weeks ago, the women's coach, and she made the comment that it's just an interesting part of the job. You come back every year and you're getting a little older, and the players are staying the same age every year. And so they feel just like further away. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, what is wrong with you guys? Why are you thinking like that? You know, like what has that been like? You know, every year maybe the dynamic is changing a little bit with, you know, the strengths and challenges that 18-year-olds are coming in with, or something like that. Like, what has that been like over the years?
Well,
Washburn University, a proud sponsor of this podcast, wants to keep its homegrown talent here at home.
Graduates of Shawnee County high schools and home schools are eligible for the Thrives Scholarship.
Other local graduates may qualify for the Promise Scholarship, meaning you can go to Washburn tuition free.
Learn more about these amazing opportunities at washburn.edu.
Washburn is just right.
Just for you.
I still feel pretty young at heart. So I feel that a little bit, but I also really try to put myself in their shoes and go back to when I was their age and what my thought process was like as much as I can. But I do agree there continues to be a bigger gap. It's nice for me because I've got kids that age.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm around it at home on a daily basis. Like, my son's a freshman on the team this year.
Yeah.
I have a sophomore in high school, a seventh grader. So they keep me somewhat, grounded and updated on what that reality is for young people of this age. And then I still think there's some timeless characteristics, or whatever you want to say, that whatever the generation gap is, as long as they know that I truly care about them, that they can trust me, that I have their best interest at heart. I think those things, regardless of the age, are some things that are timeless. I played for Coach Roy Williams in college, and he was older when I played for him, but I knew he cared about me. I knew he was doing things the right way for the right reasons. And I think that when you can instill that in your guys and in your program, even when there starts to be a bigger age gap, I still think you can connect with them.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite Gen Z slang terms you like to use in your coaching?
Oh God, you put me on the spot. Probably not. And probably when I do use them, they just make, here's what's funny about having a son on the team. So I know when I say something that I think is funny, they're just going in the locker room and making fun of me. So he's got to sit through all that. So when I do try to use any of those, I know that they're just going to go crush me in the locker room and make fun of me. So it's fine.
Funny.
That's amazing.
Talk about the momentum. What's the locker room like as guys are starting to realize, hey, we're a good team. Last year's team was good. We're also really good. We might be better.
Yeah.
How do you inspire them to keep pushing through, keep working hard, and basically, as Kobe Bryant says, job's not done.
Yeah.
What's that look like?
I want them to be like, I tell them I'm proud of them, but it's more important than to be proud of themselves every once in a while. We're not gonna sit in that very long because we know we got to keep getting better. But I do think, like Coach Williams, I mentioned him earlier, he was really big on enjoying the journey. And I think sometimes as coaches, and I'm guilty of this, it's like always the next thing. And I think occasionally we need to stop and smell the roses and embrace and enjoy a little bit of what we've accomplished. And then you turn the page and move on. But what these guys are doing is amazing. It really is, especially in this conference. Like, this is a really hard conference, and we've played. Our strength of schedule is top 10 in the country. So beyond even our non-conference, we've beaten some really good teams.
Wow.
So I'm really proud of what we've done. A long ways to go. So it's a combination of both. Let's be proud, and then let's flip the page and keep getting better.
It makes me think. I saw this quote from Nick Saban, former Alabama head coach. Outcomes are a distraction. And focusing on the process is where you need to be living.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's so good.
That's good. I respect Coach Saban a lot, and it is. You're just trying to focus on the things you can control. There's some things outside of our control, and the process, our effort, our energy, our attitude, those are things that we can control, and we certainly try to put our effort and focus on those every day.
Wow.
Cool.
So about a year ago, we had some of the players from last year's squad in the studio, and they were talking pretty big. They, were making claims that they could beat you in a one-on-one game and things like that. And then, we had you on after to, clean up shop and establish reality for those guys. Is there anybody on the team you think could give you a run for your money in a one-on-one game
they could
now?
like I said, then the thing that they were talking crazy was that they could beat me when I was their age.
That's crazy.
Like, listen, right now I'm old. They probably would handle, and they also said, they would beat me 11-0, or like I wasn't going to score. I thought that was a little disrespectful. I could not beat any of our current guys right now in one-on-one. I just try to work out and stay in shape, but these guys are 18 and in phenomenal shape and do this every day. But this younger generation, sometimes they disrespect us old guys. You got to put them in their place a little bit. It's okay. We have the MJ LeBron debate and all that stuff. We always have those arguments, and I try to remind them of the past a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in your prime. Let's just say you're 22 or 20 or whatever year you thought was the best year that you were in college. And how many of your current guys would it take to beat you in a game?
I mean, I don't,
one-on-one, 2v1, 3v1.
You're just trying to stir stuff
like
up,
the man
John.
versus the gorilla debate.
You're just trying to cause controversy here.
I mean, I think it'd be one-on-one would be a fair game. I think I could hold my own, back in the day. Now, our rules are different, too. We could hand check, and you could foul a little bit more. Now you can't hardly touch these guys. So.
Soft.
Yeah, exactly.
Soft.
So I don't know if they would like the physicality I was going to play with.
We put them in your rules.
Yeah, exactly. We're playing our rules.
Come on.
The late 90s, early 2000s, like you can be a little more physical, hand check, all that stuff. I think they're going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, come on.
At what age was your son when he started to take over the throne of taking you on one-on-one?
Yeah, a couple years ago. I was bigger. My advantage was I was taller, so I could just shoot over him. And then, we got the same height, basically. Then that was a problem. And so we kind of stopped playing after that.
Let's go play Monopoly inside.
Yeah, let's play cards. But I would just kind of rebound for him then and let him get the shots up.
Is it a proud moment, or is it also like a hit to the pride? Like, my son can take me now?
It doesn't bug me that much because it's more like, hey, I'm glad he's becoming a good player and happy for him than it is me reliving my glory days. It was fun. We didn't play a ton. We'd play some, and he'd shoot around a lot, maybe rebounding for him. But it's fun to be out there with him some, and I'll still get out there and mess around a little bit, but we're not keeping score.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Wow. Okay, so you mentioned the LeBron MJ debate. Where do you land on that?
Well, I would say this. I appreciate just watching great players. And I think we've gotten to such a place where, like, instead of just appreciate it, we want to argue about everybody. And I know it's kind of for fun, but, like, some of it just is exhausting to me. Like, can we just appreciate Steph or LeBron? And instead of, like, every night, like, ESPN's really turned to, like, let's debate and let's try to create controversy instead of just appreciating the sport. And I think when we don't appreciate the sport, whatever sport it is, we're losing some of what it means to be a fan and some of what makes sports beautiful. So I'm an MJ guy, and that's maybe just because I grew up and watched more of him, or he was close to my age or whatever. But not close to my age. I guess LeBron's close to my age too. But just I was an MJ guy and would probably lean that way. But LeBron's had a heck of a career, and he's going to go down as obviously one of the greatest.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel about the Space Jam sequel?
So at our camp every year, we have an all-day camp and we show movies over lunch. And so Space Jam, the original, is a staple.
100%.
And if you come 100%. To camp every year,
Bill
you're going to
Murray,
watch
bro.
Space Jam. Like, I'm going to educate you on that. So a couple years ago, we started playing original and then the new one, so they would get both. And the campers are funny. I think the most of them still like the original, and that was without my influence. But it's okay.
Objective outsiders.
Yeah, I'm original.
Yeah.
I'm an original guy, but the kids seem to kind of lean towards the original too. So
Come
I don't
on.
know.
They recognize good art. When
I
they see
guess
it.
so. Yeah. I don't know how I didn't win a Grammy. Or,
All right, you're on the
an
phone with a
Oscar.
recruit, hotshot recruit. You're trying to get to come to Washburn. It's got offers all over the place. Give us the 30-second Washburn pitch on why they should come be an Ichabod.
Yeah, I think biggest thing we sell is the people that they're going to be around. Like we try to recruit high quality people, and I tell them the biggest thing I would sell you on our program is you're going to come into a locker room with phenomenal guys that care about the right things, that care about each other, that care about their academics, that socially you're going to want to hang out with, and guys that I think will be some of your best friends for life. That's just not the case at every place you go. And I truly think we have a culture and the right guys in our locker room that people want to be around, and that a huge part of our success has just been getting the right people on the bus and the right people in the locker room. So I want them to come be a part of that.
Love it.
That's amazing. Can we shift to like Topeka rapid fire questions? So we want to hit you guys with, we have some staple rapid fire questions we like to ask all of our guests. As a former guest, I think you are the only person, you're the first former guest to come on this podcast.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
Come on, you're set
Big
records
time.
everywhere you go, man. You can't help but set records. So you've answered these in the past, but we'll just get a little update.
Okay.
These are just about life in Topeka as a citizen of this great city. So do you have any favorite local restaurants?
Yeah. I like El Ranchito from a Mexican spot.
Let's go. Yep.
I like El Ranchito. I like Skinny's because radio show's there, and Skinny's always solid. Johnny's, Bullfrogs, always sports bar wise, always solid. So, but if I'm going Mexico, I'll go El Ranchito.
That's
Love
a great answer.
Favorite local coffee shop?
I go 3. I like Circle. I like Dialogue. And I like PT. So I would put those 3 at the top. I know there's some other good ones, but those would be my top 3.
I heard they just opened a Dialogue on campus.
Yeah, there's one in the.
I didn't know that.
Just in the old library, not too far from my office. So I've been over there a couple times.
Come on.
And take advantage of that. Yeah, it's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get a night free, no games or anything. What date night are you doing that night?
Yeah, so most of our date nights are at games. Like we joke about that, but like most of the time if we're on it's like, hey, we're going to watch the kids play. And I think last time I answered this, I gave some real fancy answer. My wife was like, "That's not at all." Like I think I tried to make myself. She's like, "Oh, that sounds amazing." So whatever I said last time, we should probably be doing.
Has that happened in the last year?
Yeah. Okay. We do try to. I think just trying to intentionally go to dinner without the kids every once in a while and just spend and be engaged without any distractions is always it's challenging because of everything going on. But we try to intentionally schedule that from time to time.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know you're a golfer. Local golf shop. What local golf course? What's your go-to?
I probably play Cypress as much as anywhere, just because it's for me it's a nice course and it's not overly challenging. So I'd say Cypress. My son worked at TCC last summer, so the benefit of that was on Mondays employees could play for a discount. So that was big. I said, hey man, you got to keep this job for life. And so I really hadn't played TCC much, but that was awesome.
And that'll ruin you too. You play TCC once and you go back to Cypress.
And then you got to go. It's different, but no, there's some other good ones, but those 2 I probably played the most last summer.
Your son gets like offers to go pro. No, son, you need to keep that TCC job.
You're keeping that cart boy job at TCC. Yeah.
Okay. If you're doing a home project, are you going to Home Depot, Lowe's, or the other one?
I'm an Ace Hardware guy.
Ace Hardware.
Right.
Let's go.
Because they're like it's first of all, some of those I don't need 25 million options on everything. Like Ace has what you need, and they're like there's so many people that'll like help you right away. I just feel like they know what they're doing there. So I'm an ace guy.
Okay, come on, let's go.
And I'm not doing many I don't screw that. I'm not doing a ton of
Mr.
home
Handyman.
projects. That's why I appreciate you make me sound like that. But
absolutely.
it's minimal effort.
That's
at
what
the
I
You
house.
could have let us on, and we wouldn't have known any otherwise. Like, man, that
Man
dude
does
can do
it all.
everything.
Basketball coach, golfer, handyman.
That's wild.
I guess final question: where can people find you at? Where can they follow the basketball team as you guys take on the season? You guys on socials, website.
Yeah. So woosports.com is the best way to find, schedules, game information. We're obviously we have an Instagram account, we have a Twitter or X account. I have my own personal accounts as well, but the best way to follow our basketball team would be probably through woosports.com. Gene Castle, our SID office, does a great job over there of putting out a lot of content of what's going on with our guys, and probably the best way to do that, to follow us, would be to go through that site.
It's awesome.
Brett.
Man, thank you so
Thanks,
much
guys.
for
Yeah,
coming back.
appreciate it.
It's been awesome.
It's always
Man,
fun.
yeah, best of luck to the rest of the season.
I
Appreciate you,
like
Coach.
our group. Thanks, guys.